Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by the head football coach of Grosse Pointe South. That, of course, is Chad Hepner. Chad, welcome back.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate it.
All right. So before we get into previewing this year, just to kind of give an idea on how did things go for you in 2023?
Uh, by most measures, it was a great year. We won our league. We were victorious in the MAC White. We beat our rival, Grosse Pointe North, finished 8-1. We got a victory over MAC Red School. And so really a lot of positive things throughout the season. Unfortunately, we got knocked out of the playoffs by Roseville, who we had beaten in a close game during the regular season. So we didn't have as deep of a run as we wanted, but the season as a whole was really a fun year.
Okay, so going into this year, what do you I know you've been working with these guys throughout the summer, of course, with all the practices that the MHSA has given you guys. But what is this group going to be like in 2024?
Um, well, I expect us to be very good on defense again. That was where we hung our hat last year, and we're bringing a lot of those guys back. So on defense, the expectations are very high. On offense, we've got some holes to fill on the O line, but we're pretty excited about our passing game. Our quarterback Jack Lupo's coming back. We were able to win the tournament, the 7-on-7 tournament at Hope College this summer. Took a trip over there and competed well. And so I feel like our passing game is further along this year than a lot of years in the past at this point in the season.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go through let's talk about this year's team, of course. Let's talk about some of the returners and some of the guys to watch out for this year for this team. We'll start with the skill positions and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Do you want to talk offense or defense
Let's
first?
do offense. Then we'll go into the offensive and defensive line, and then we'll go into the backs and secondary.
Okay. Yeah, so our quarterback's coming back. He was very good last year, Jack Lupo. And so he's looking even better this summer. A little bit more mature, a little bit, stronger arm, and continues to make progress in his decision making, and his leadership. So that's always nice when you got your quarterback coming back. And then our leading receiver at the slot is Vince Vachon. He'll be a 3-year starter coming back as well. And he's been, only getting better at his route running, and his speed is a dynamic factor as well.
Yeah.
So those guys are coming back. We have to replace our edge receivers, who graduated. But we got some guys we think are going to be able to step in there. James Michelotti's had a real good summer, sophomore named Trey Grabowski. And then our returning corner, Adam Zarnick, is looking to contribute on offense as well. So we got some guys we think we could step in there. At the running back position, Matt Agnon was a guy that split time last year as a starter, kind of in a rotation. So he'll be back. And then we got some up-and-comer sophomores who seem pretty skilled with the ball in their hand. That's another Michelotti, Charlie Michelotti, and Charlie Bedsworth are two guys that we want to take a good look at, who are going to be sophomores.
All right. Let's go to the offensive and defensive line.
So on offense, we got to figure some things out. We just have one returner, who was one of our best linemen last year on offense. That's Sawyer Weisbro, and he was an excellent player last year, and he's coming in about 30 pounds heavier. So we really got, at the right guard position, a foundation there. The other positions are kind of up for grabs. We like Will Scott at the center position. He's had a good summer. We got kind of some competition at the left guard position, and then at the tackles, we're going to probably rely on our returning defensive ends to play some offense this year too. Um, Franklin Gallagher and Andrew Pazahowski are real good on defense, but we're going to have to lean on them on offense as well as a guy that's coming back to the program after a year off, Griffin Sahutsky. So plenty of work to do there, but we got some guys, that are competing hard and learning the system.
All right.
Over on defense, I already talked about those DNs, and those guys um, they're looking real good. They've both picked up or getting a lot of interest from some Division II colleges. I think they will end up being probably at that level after high school. Um, our three tech, AJ Zelenowski, is coming back. He'll just be a junior. So we need one more defensive end or sorry, interior defensive lineman that we got to look at. But should be a solid group.
All right. Let's go to the linebackers and secondary.
Well, at linebacker, um, we're we're really pleased to have two guys coming back who will be 3-year starters. Our Mike, our middle linebacker, Lex Wilson. He was an All-State player last year from the Free Press. He's just super productive, real smart, plays all over the field. And so, he's kind of the centerpiece of our defense, led the team in tackles the last 2 years. And then another linebacker coming back will also be a 3-year starter, Josh Slamansky. And he's probably going to play the will position this year. Last year we had him at the Sam, but he was a captain as a junior, and I think that just kind of tells you what kind of leader and player he is coming back as a senior. Um, so then we got some guys battling out for the other linebacker position. Um, in the secondary, uh, both of our corners who got most of the playing time last year are coming back. Noah Hart, he's picked up some Division II offers as well. I think he's hoping to get some Division I interest. And then Adam Zarnik is the other corner, who's a good player, will probably help us on offense, as I mentioned. And then at the safety position, um, we should have had both safeties coming back. Henry Domzalski is a returner. He's looking real good this summer. Then our other returning safety happens to be my son, Wyatt Hepner. He had meniscus surgery on his knee in early June, so it's going to be a struggle for him to get back on the field. He's looking at 4 to 6 months. So hopefully he can contribute mid to late season, but as of right now, we're not counting on it.
Okay. Um, Special teams, what is that looking like?
Well, we thought Wyatt was probably going to be our kicker also. So we got some guys that are going to compete. I think we got some talented guys punting the ball, but we're going to have to see as far as extra points. Usually, special teams are one of our better aspects of the game. As head coach, I'm the special teams coordinator, so I think that shows we put a lot of emphasis on it. But we haven't done a lot of that yet this summer. More focused on offense and defense. That we will, really hit the ground running when we get to August.
Okay. All right. We've talked about the kids. Now let's talk about the schedule. And of course, it's a pretty good one. Anytime that you play in the I always forget. It is the white. That's right.
We're the white. So
Okay. Just
um, really the second highest division of the MAC.
yep.
Um, we've got it's a very competitive division. We've had success. We've got Utica, L'Anse Creuse, Roseville this year, L'Anse Creuse North, and Lakeview on our schedule. I think that the team that everybody's got their eye on is Roseville. They're very talented. They're bringing some guys back. We beat them in the regular season in a close game, and then lost in the playoffs in a close game. So the guys, we all kind of have that one circled on our schedule. But then we've got two crossovers with the MAC Red. We play Romeo week 2 and Anchor Bay week 8, and that's always a tall order. Romeo's very well coached, super motivated. They execute, and Anchor Bay's got some talent, and Giannoni's just, he's growing that program, and we know they're going to be ready to play. So, it's a good schedule. I think it sets up well. We got an opener with Port Huron Northern, which is always a challenge because we have to go up there and play at their stadium, which is an hour drive, and it's actually the first game we will have played on grass in a number of years too.
Yeah, is there a dip because out here where I live, everything is all turf. So, but what is how are you going to get the kids ready to play on grass? Is there a difference you think?
Unfortunately, it is. And when you get so used to playing on turf, Sometimes it depends on the condition of the grass, but you just can't always make the same cuts. And it is a little bit different. So we just got to make sure the guys don't get psyched out about it. We were able to do some, summer 7-on-7 on grass, so I think that helped. And we do have a grass area that we'll practice on the week leading up to that just to get acclimated.
Absolutely. Okay. So these talk about these next few weeks before camps begins on the 12th. Where do you what's the plan for the next few weeks for you guys?
We're finishing up our last summer date today, and then really these last couple weeks won't be doing much besides continuing our strength and conditioning. We've had a really good summer in the weight room. I'm excited about our progress there. So the captains will lead some conditioning on their own next week, but really for us, a lot of kids are out of town for baseball and things like that, and so it's a good opportunity just to kind of recharge and get organized and get equipment handed out and stuff like that, so that we can hit the ground running on August 12th.
All right. All right, Chad. Thank you so much for the time as always, and best of luck. Best of luck to you guys this year.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.